Good morning, everyone. My name is Tammy Sadler-Jones. I'm the Assistant City Administrator, and I'd like to call to order the License and Variance Board meeting at 10 o'clock a.m. on Wednesday, May the 28th, 2014. Board members present to my left is Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works, and to his left is Roy Akery, the Deputy Fire Chief, and we have Terry Graham here this morning, the City Clerk, who will be taking the official meeting minutes. First item for business is a variance request V14005, reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3 feet, 0.68 acres, land lot 412, 3326 South Cobb Drive, John Dixon, and this is to be tabled until June the 11th, 2014. And we have Joey Stobbs here from Community Development. Make a comment.
This item is Community Development is requesting it be tabled due to lack of information from the applicant. Anticipate they will have everything by the next variance hearing date, but
Okay.
that applies to both
The first one.
005 and 006.
Okay, all right. So we'll just do them separately. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please. Well, first of all, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion we table variance request V14-005, variance request reduction of side yard setback from 10 feet to 3 feet, 0.68 acres, land lot 412, 3326 South Cobb Drive, John Dixon, the applicant. Table that to June 11th, 2014.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V14005, reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3 feet, to be tabled until June the 11th, 2014. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V14006, reduction of parking requirement from 76 spaces to 62 spaces, 0.68 acres, land lot 412, 3326 South Cobb Drive, John Dixon, to be tabled until June the 11th, 2014. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that we table variance request V14-006, reduction of parking requirements 76 spaces, 62 spaces, 0.68 acres, land lot 412, 3326 South Cobb Drive, John Dixon, the applicant. Table to June 11th, 2014.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we table variance request V14006, reduction of parking requirement from 76 spaces to 62 spaces until June the 11th, 2014. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V14016, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 1 feet for the construction of a carport, 0.29 acres, land lot 525, 1257 Pinehurst Circle. Vicky Masella. Okay, can you step to the podium, please? And for the record, state your name and tell us about your variance request.
My name is Vicky Masella, and I'm looking for this variance because I wanted to enclose my carport. I'm having an elderly aunt, move in with me, and I need more room. I need to be able to build something now next to the current carport so I can get her in and out of the house.
All right, and then is that all you plan to do? You're not planning to make any other construction alterations to the home, just enclosing the carport?
Closing the carport, and then I was just going to put like a pergola next to the carport so that it's covered.
Okay.
And then hopefully I'm going to add a deck in the back, but later. That really has nothing to do with the variance.
Right. Okay. All right. Any questions for the applicant?
And I have a picture, if that helps, of what it might look like.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? At this time, we'll have the staff make comments.
Ms. Masella described what her action plan is. She has an aging relative moving in. She needs additional living space. So she's enclosing the carport and building a new carport to the side of the existing carport. That will require a reduction in the setback from 10 feet to 1 feet. The front of the yard has very steep topographical change from where her existing carport is to where it comes in from the street. So they can't do anything in the front yard due to the steep incline. That's why she needs to do it in this location so that they can have access to the house from a flat driveway. We've reviewed the request and found it to be in compliance with all the 4 variance standards. Posted signage, we've received no comment, negative or positive, about the request. So we've recommended approval with one condition, that appropriate gutters and downspouts be installed to divert stormwater away from the adjacent property prior to final inspection.
And no comments from the neighbor?
No.
Okay.
I do have one question for the applicant. Ms. Masella, if you could stand back up to the podium, please. As you just heard, Community Development has recommended to this board approval of your variance request with the one condition that that you install or ensure that appropriate gutters and downspouts are installed to divert the stormwater away from adjacent property, and that be done prior to final inspection. Are you aware of this condition, and are you okay with this condition?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions for the staff? Okay, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V14-016 to allow the reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 1 feet for the construction of a carport at 0.29 acre land lot 525 at 1257 Pinehurst Circle for Vicky Masella, with the following condition, and that appropriate gutters and downspouts be installed to divert stormwater away from adjacent property prior to final inspection.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V14016, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 1 feet for the construction of a carport. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V14017, allow reduction of front setback from 35 feet to 20 feet, 0.18 acres, land lot 561, 1455 Whitfield Street. Peter Harris and Son is the applicant. And for the record, can you state your name and tell us about your variance request?
Sure. Good morning. Robert Harrison. I live at 2730 Morris Circle. We are getting a variance for a front porch for this house on Whitfield Street. We renovated the house 2 doors down to the left about a year and a half ago, and it's going to be the same exact front porch, the same depth, the same distance from the street, basically. So we're not trying to do anything different. We're just the same thing we did on the other house, just to make it similar. Then we'll talk about the rear setback, I guess, in a minute.
All right. And I think we have a picture here, so it's going to be exactly like this front porch, but without the carport.
That's correct. No carport.
Okay. All right.
That one had an existing carport already, so this one doesn't.
Okay. Any questions? All right, Joey.
The applicant's requesting a front setback reduction from 35 feet to 20 feet for the construction of a front porch. As Mr. Harrison described, they've remodeled a home two houses down from this subject property. They've also done a number of renovations throughout the city of this type of nature, where they add a front porch and then they add a bedroom or master bathroom to try to make them 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses. We feel that the request is in compliance with all of the 4 zoning conditions, and that it meets the character of the existing neighborhood. That it will improve the aesthetic appeal from the street. So we recommended approval of this request. Had I think Keith Bentley, he called me just to ask what was going on. I think he talked to Mr. Harrison. He didn't have any issues. I think he's the Williams Park HOA president. So he had no issues as far as I know, and I have not heard from any other neighbors.
He didn't express any objection to it. He just had questions.
He just wanted to know what was planned there. So,
Okay.
and the variance for 1439 was approved in January of 2013. So there's an established precedent of this nature. We recommended approval without any conditions.
Questions? Right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that variance request V14-017 to allow the reduction of front setback from 35 feet to 20 feet, 0.18 acres, land lot 561, 1455 Whitfield Street. Peter Harrison, son, applicant, be approved.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V14017, allow reduction of front setback from 35 feet to 20 feet. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. And the next item is a public hearing, variance request V14018, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 8 feet, 0.18 acres, land lot 561, 1455 Whitfield Street, Peter Harris and Son. And you're going to talk about this one too, Mr. Harris.
Robert Harrison again. The home is currently a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and we'd like to bring it up to modern standards and add a master bath on the back of it. Typically it goes straight off the master bedroom off the back of the home. If you can see from the plans, we've tried to shift it over as far as we can away from the rear property line, because the rear property or the side property line is angled back away from the street instead of it being a rectangle. And so even though we've shifted the addition over as far as we can, the rear corner of the addition will end up being 2 feet inside the 10-foot setback. And so that's the reason for the variance on this one.
Now, is this an existing home? It's my understanding?
Yes, existing
Okay.
home. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, built in the late 50s. And it's similar. It's the same exact floor plan as the one 2 doors down. The one 2 doors down that we did a year and a half ago already had an existing addition on the back, so it's different as far as the addition goes. But the floor plan of the basic house is the same thing. So we're just bringing it up to the level of the rest of the homes on the street, basically making it a 3-2.
Okay. And then that's all you intend to do is make it a 3-2?
That's
No
correct. Yeah, the rest of the house is in actually really good shape. We'll do cosmetic restoration, paint and flooring and things like that, but there's no other additions required to the home.
Okay.
It's pretty good shape.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for the applicant? All right, Mr. Stobbs.
This request is to reduce the east side setback from 10 feet to 8 feet for the construction of a master bathroom. The home, front of the home is parallel to Whitfield, and then the side property line angles like very sharply towards the house. The applicants made every effort to stay out of the setback, but it's just that very far corner that encroaches the setback. So we feel due to the layout of the lot, it is an established hardship that existed since the house was built. We feel that it meets all of the 4 zoning condition or standards, and the same as with the one before, we've only heard from one person who was just asking general questions. No complaints. We've recommended approval with no conditions.
All right. Any questions for the staff? All right. Well, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V14-018. Allow the reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 8 feet, 0.18 acres, line lot 561, 1455 Whitfield Street. Peter Harrison's son is the applicant. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V14018, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 8 feet, 0.18 acres, land lot 561, 1455 Whitfield Street, Peter Harris and Son. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Good luck with your project. Next item is appeal of the denial of application for alcohol server permit for Ellen Waters. Is Ms. Waters present? And at this time, I'll turn it over to the Assistant City Attorney, Jeffrey Tucker.
Could I sidebar for just a second before we start this?
Okay, all right.
As usual in these cases, I'll ask anybody who's going to speak directly into the microphone. The board can hear what you say, but we need to pick up anything that you say for the record. I can have. Let's have Marla Gerber and Ms. Waters step up, and I'm going to swear. Let's take some sworn testimony from them, so I'll swear them. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Put you in the middle.
No. It's quite all right. Both of you will raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give in this matter should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
Okay. If you'll sit down for just a second, we'll go through. We have some testimony from Ms. Gerber on the record of the board already in this matter, but let's just reiterate just a little bit for it. So if you will, just for the record, state your name.
Marla Gerber.
And you're an employee of the Smyrna Police Department?
Correct.
And part of your regular duties at the police department is when there is an applicant for an alcohol server permit, you run a criminal background check on the applicant. Is that correct?
Correct.
And this is something that the applicants consent to having this done. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Within the past 60 days, have you run a criminal background check on an applicant for a server permit here in the city named Ellen Naomi Waters?
Yes, I have.
And what did your criminal background check show?
That there were 2 separate arrests involving some felonies, and there was no disposition on the cases yet, so I couldn't allow for the permit to go through until we got the disposition.
So the permit was denied on the basis that the criminal background check showed pending felony charges that had not been adjudicated. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's all.
Okay.
That's all for me. If the board has any questions for Ms. Gerber, we'll take them. All right, Ms. Waters, if you'll step up here, please. State your name for the record, please.
Ellen Waters.
And what is your address?
2911 Lakemont Drive, Apartment B, Marietta, Georgia.
So you're living here in Cobb County now?
Yes,
is that
I live
correct?
in Smyrna.
Okay. Do you disagree with anything that Ms. Gerber has testified to?
No.
Okay. So to the best of your knowledge, do you have one or more pending felony charges in any jurisdiction in the United States that has not been finally disposed or adjudicated?
Felony charges?
A pending felony charge.
I have 2 pending charges.
You have 2 pending felony charges?
I have 1 pending felony and 1 pending misdemeanor. The rest have been either dismissed. I did a diversion program. They were dropped. It just didn't show it on the arrest record because it was only an arrest record, not a conviction.
It's not a complete court
Yeah.
record. It just shows what you've been arrested for. But just to be clear, you do have 1 still pending felony charge that hasn't been dismissed. Is that correct?
And they have another 3 years to
Okay.
make it final.
Okay. I don't have anything further. If Ms. Waters wants to say something to the board, she can. If the board wants to ask her questions, we can.
Well, you guys know I was here 2 weeks ago. We postponed it, so I was going to go ahead and appeal. I know that you guys can't approve it with anything pending, so I was going to appeal that to the mayor and council, and I brought a letter to do so because I'm under the impression they're the only ones who can approve it at this time.
Do you have any additional statements to make to us? I mean, do you want to talk about kind of what have you done since this whole process got started? I mean, where are you currently working?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Do you have my original letter okay, well, so I'm working at Jim and Nick's. I have been working in Atlanta and have a liquor license there in Atlantic Station at Meehan's, and moved up here about 6 months ago for double the space, half the cost for me and my daughter and my husband. And so working at Jim and Nick's, I heard it was a really good place. I've been on the floor serving for about 2 months and just kind of slipped my mind to get my liquor license and didn't think it was going to be a big deal. And because I haven't had this before, ever had it denied before. But I know it seems really bad having charges. I'm trying to do the right thing now. I'm in recovery. I've been clean for 2.5 years. That happened when I was on a relapse, just full disclosure. So, yeah, just trying to keep working, paying my bills, which is hard to do right now. So,
Is that your only job?
Yeah, that's my only job. In the meantime, they've been having me, busing, but it's only $5.50 an hour. Yeah. I've been serving for 5 years. Before that I did real estate, but the market went down, so I make more money serving. That's how I support my daughter my whole life. Yeah.
When you went to work at Jim and Nick's, were you serving alcohol without a license?
Yeah.
Without a permit?
Yes. I think there's a 2-week, 1 month period that you can be on the floor before the restaurant can have any penalties, before you can get your liquor, you can go a month of serving on the floor without having your liquor license. And I was just kind of putting it off, $40 to get it. And
what brought that to your attention then?
That I needed to get it. Oh, I know from serving that we have to have our liquor license, So they just said they had hired a bunch of new people. They were like, everybody who's new, you guys have to the end of the month to get your liquor permit. I just kind of waited and didn't expect anything to happen. So...
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, you do understand that we do have a code of ordinances that we have to follow and abide by here in the city of Smyrna. And because of your pending charges, most likely, as you are aware of, that we will probably have to postpone our decision until your pending charges have been adjudicated. But you can appeal this board's decision to the mayor and council, and you have 10 business days to do so.
Yeah, I already brought a letter appealing it.
All right. So you want to try to get that expedited as soon as possible, because the mayor and council, they meet on Monday, June the 2nd. So if you're prepared, we can get you on the agenda, and the meeting starts at 7:30 here in this room.
In the morning or at night?
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Well, Ms. Waters, I can certainly, in this entire board, appreciate you coming forward, and we can understand how difficult it is to talk about, a past, and we just applaud you for on your road to recovery, and we certainly wish you the best. But I'm about to make a motion that's going to postpone. We're not denying the appeal. We're not approving the appeal. We're postponing the appeal based off of things that we have to do and rules that we have to follow. But just as you've already noted, and as the chair of the board has just stated, we encourage you to continue your appeal process to the mayor and council. Okay, but I appreciate you coming in. Having said that, I'd like to make a motion to postpone 2014-137, the appeal of denial of application for alcohol service permit for Miss Ellen Waters until final adjudication of charges.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we postpone the appeal of denial of alcohol for server permit for Ellen Waters until final adjudication. At this time, I'd like to ask you to vote, please. It's been motioned and properly second. Got postponed? Okay. Well, we'll just do it. Yeah, we'll just do it by hand then. Okay. Well, it'll be postponed.
I'm going to put postpone,
strike
yeah.
it out and to postpone. And what you have there is perfectly adequate for this purpose.
I didn't think I needed a whole.
No.
All right.
But, because everything that's gone into the record up to now, including your initial letter, will be there for the mayor and council.
That's what I thought.
All right. Well, we'll just vote by hand. All in favor, please vote. All right, that's unanimous. And as I mentioned, Ms. Waters, you have 10 business days to notify the city clerk, which if you have your letter, you can deliver that to her right now.
Clerk is sitting right in front of
I ran out of envelopes.
Yes. All right. And then we will get that on the agenda for this coming Monday, June the 2nd, pardon me,
yeah.
June 2nd, in this room, 7:30 p.m. Yeah, no, 7:30 p.m. You'll be the only one here if you come at 7:30 a.m.
I was shocked when I came in. I thought this was like a whole thing just for me, and when I saw these other people here today, I was like, what? This isn't just a meeting for me?
No, this is our license and variance board. So, all right. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Waters. Good luck.
I better make a lot of money at Jim and Nick's is all I'm saying, because I've been really trying to. All right, guys, thank you.
All right.
Could you wait a minute till the meeting's over?
All right. Next item is approval of the May 14, 2014 License and Variance Board meeting minutes. I'd like to entertain a motion.
Make a motion we approve the License and Variance Board meeting minutes of May 14th, 2014.
Second.
Been motion and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes for May 14th, 2014. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously, and I would like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:31 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Okay. Somebody's going to get tripped up by that.